Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sima. I am 35 years old, woman living in between Paris and Almaty, which is in Kazakhstan. I'm an entrepreneur. I used to work in fashion for more than a decade and now I am working in wellness. I have my own cafe, healthy wellness cafe here in Almaty, and I've been doing this for last 3 years, and this is my love, pride and joy. But this video is not about me doing business. This video is more personal and I've been wanting to record this for quite some time. So backstory, if you subscribe to my channel for quite some time, you've been seeing me traveling with my siblings, my 13 years old brother Emir and my 18 years old sister Karina. And that brings some questions. Why and what happened? So this video is a bit of this is something very personal to me, and I am sharing this for the first time ever, and I'm not sure even my close friends do know the whole story, but here it goes. I lost my parents. I lost my mother 3 years ago, and then I lost my father a year later, so it was 2 years ago now. And I think the process of going through the grieving process is something we all probably obliged to do at some point of our lives. But when this happened to me back then, I was looking for information all over, and I wanted to find answers for the questions that I had, and I had a million questions, especially with my mom, because it was a shock to me. And I have 3 siblings. I also have my sister who's 34. So we were in shock, and this came as a surprise for all of us. And that wasn't easy. Of course, we had to make some decisions. And one of the decisions was that my parents were divorced for some time already at that point. And the main question was the kids. And to me was no question at all that they will live with me and I will become their legal guardian, and which we did. And we started to live together when my mom got sick, so we already kind of got used to each other for something like 3-4 months while she was sick and we were battling, and when she was gone, it was just natural for all of us that we will stay and we will remain together. And it's been like this ever since. But again, this video is not about my story. This video is I came up with few things that helped me to overcome this process, overcome grief, and just to stay sane, to actually get through this. And if I would find something like this back then, I think it will help me a lot. And I really hope that, for me, bringing back these emotions is really hard, but I really hope that this will help some people that I don't know and I will never meet in my life, but after watching this they might feel just at least tiny bit better. So here it goes, how to overcome grief when you lost your parents, or if you lost somebody you really loved. Well, please don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that 3 years later I don't feel anything or I just okay with that. Let's say we have no choice. People who lost their parents too early, I think it's too early was for both of my parents, because my mom was for 52 and my father was 61. that was too early. Even when you are older kid like me, I was 30 something, you feel the same. And you know, when you have people around you who going through the same process, like my little brother, he was 10, and my sister, she was 15, and another sister was, I don't know, remember, she's like a year and a half younger than me. It's not just about you sometimes, but like the whole family. But I think I just had a lot of responsibilities, so I couldn't really fell apart, which helps in a way. But at first I thought that I have to save everybody, but in fact you have to save yourself first. Like on a airplane, you know, you have to put like a safety mask on yourself first, and then you have to help, or you if you want to help others. So I even made a list, and to be honest, I've been wanting to make this video for like 3-4 months. I've been scratching like everything that I wanted to say, and then starting over. But here it goes. And number one is, don't even try to run away from your emotions. Let me explain. In my case, again, because I had a lot of responsibilities then, and I have them now, and it was pretty easy to me that I have to focus on something else. And I was like putting back my emotions, and I was kind of saving it for like later. That was just stupid, but also because I am an older sister in a family, and this is a lot of pressure. People who are older brothers and sisters, we have a lot of things on our shoulders, and this is kind of heavy, and this is something we just got born with, let's say that. A lot of people who came to the funerals, they keep saying that, Sima, you have to stay strong, or Sima, you are the older now, like you are the oldest of the family, you have to remember that. Stay strong for your siblings or for somebody else. Don't listen to these people because they always know better than you. But don't try to run away from your emotions. If you feel sad or if you want to cry, let yourself cry as long as you want and can. And you know, I remember now that I texted one very famous psychologist, and I was just wanted to set up an appointment, but she was so busy, and she was like, she's still really hard to get. And she said, the only advice I can give you is to cry out loud as long as you can, as long as you want. That's it. I think that was the best advice I ever received. So in my case, you know what I did? I started to transfer kids from their school to another, because I wanted to help them to have like another environment. And maybe a few months later, I allowed myself to actually cry nonstop, and I was crying for 9 days. But that was like 9 months later. Don't postpone this, you know, you will feel better. And I keep saying this to my brother and to my sister. Even now, like, if you feel like you're sad about mom, cry as long as you want. Number 2 is very important, and I think it is the most important advice that I ever gave to people. Don't blame yourself and let go of guilt. I know it's very easy to start blaming, especially yourself. It's easy, and in a way, this is us making ourselves very important, you know, like, this is you missed something, or you didn't make enough, you didn't do enough for this person, and or you could do more. You couldn't. You couldn't. You have to admit the fact that all of us, our parents, us, our kids, friends, we all have our own journey, and nobody ever can change that. If there's even death is something that is up to us, even up to you or up to exact person, but this is not your choice, and you couldn't change anything even though you think you could. This is something we lie about ourselves, like we lie to ourselves. And that was first emotion I felt, like that was me, this is my fault, I didn't pay attention here, or I didn't pay attention there. And I was with my mom for 3 months, for her last 3 months, and I was with her almost nonstop. Sometimes like my sister switched me, and we were like making shifts, but telling you, I was with her all the time, and I was making all the decisions. And even now, sometimes I have this thought like, this is new, sort of like a new, how to say, this is something new I know about her disease, or about something that I could do, but I didn't knew that back then because I was another person back then. Anyway, trust me, this is not your fault. This is not up to you. This is not your decision. You couldn't do anything. Just deal with that and let go of this very heavy and very low vibration mode. Number 3 is keep your routine the same. I know it feels weird and it might sound crazy, but even like walking your dog, or like going to Pilates, anything you do in your life on a daily basis, keep doing that, because this will keep you on track, and will help you not to go nuts, especially if you live alone, for example. Just for me, it was easier because I was with my family, and I was like every Sunday and Saturday and Sunday, I was pushing kids going to the gym with me, just to have another, environment. So do that. Keep your routine same as you can. So number 4 is easy. Ask for help. Ask for help. If you can't pay to a therapist, ask for help from your friends. They are more people around you, they are more willing to help than you think, and some of them really know something about that too. And what I was doing, I was looking for anybody else who also lost their parent, and I was like trying to have connection, or to ask. I did ask questions like, how do you feel now, how did you feel back then? And it did help. And I made few new friends. I know it's horrible to say, but thanks to that, I made new friends, and till today we support each other. So that's something. And if you have money for therapy, for some people just say it's too expensive, but this is an investment into your well-being. But even if you have, do it, because this is somebody who will listen to you for your money and will probably give you a good piece of advice and will help you get through this and navigate. What I did for kids, for example, their school, they have a therapist, for 2 or 3 therapists for a class. So I asked the therapist to see kids on like a weekly basis, and I asked for a therapist to work with my younger sister for like in a year or something. And I did work with therapists myself. it just was sort of like 1 hour moment when I was crying and saying whatever I want about that. So number 5 is, it is kind of scary for a lot of people, but do visit their places that they loved, and places that you visited together. For me, that was a trip to Paris, because that was one of the last trips I took with my mom, and we didn't have a lot of trips together because she had 4 kids. So that was one of the last trips we took together with nobody else, and that was amazing, honestly. And I was so scared to go to Paris by myself, but what I did a list of places she loved, and I went all alone, and it was scary and it was very emotional, and I was crying, and even one guy was trying to hook me up, and he was like saying something about me crying at that moment, and I was so angry that like, guys are so stupid sometimes that they can't recognize emotions. Anyway, that was therapeutic for sure. And when I was able to, I visited like coffee shops and restaurants she loved, and we still go to the same restaurant to celebrate her birthday here in Almaty every year. So number 6 is keep their things and use them. This helps to accept the fact that they're gone, and that's it. What I did, I took all my mom's jewelry. I still use it, and I use it on a daily basis. And I took her sunglasses. No, glasses. And I changed the lenses, and I still use them when I drive my car. It is also was therapeutic, and I don't know. Some people say that you shouldn't use like dead people personal belongings, but I think exactly opposite. This helps. And to adding to this point is that I printed pictures, and I printed portraits of her, and I framed it. So everybody in my house, wherever I have as a guest, or my family, they could see it on a daily basis. And just every time you see it, you just remind yourself, and don't fool yourself that this person is gone, and that this is the fact. Because our brain is really tricky, and it's really trying to fool us every time. Even now, like, I've been working with myself really hard and a lot, and sometimes I have this thought like, I should ask my mom. Voila. And you know what I did else? I put her picture with me on my screen on my phone, and I had this for like more than a year, and every time somebody saw it, they asked like, don't you feel pain seeing that? But I don't. I feel love. Number 7 is important too. Everything is important. Don't isolate yourself. Never. Yeah, I know it's easier to stay all alone and don't talk to other people, but find people who loved her, and like, that could be their siblings, maybe parents, maybe friends who can celebrate her, like her, or I say her because I talk about my mom, but that was the same process with my dad, and I was more prepared, and I talked with his siblings, brothers. He had a lot of brothers. I went to the village where he was born, and this was so therapeutic, because they were saying what kind of person they were, something that you don't even know, and something that they were saying about you, like, oh, she said that, or he said that, or he was, I might start crying now, that he was proud, or she was proud, something that they didn't told you. So Number 8 is don't wait for end of the pain. This will never happen. I'm sorry to saying that, because we all, when this happened, we are waiting for an end. Like, this is will one day will come and we won't feel this anymore. This day will never come. And this is what other people told me who went through the same. They always said, you just learn to live with that. So you learn to live with that and try to help yourself. That's it. But don't fool yourself with this idea. This day will never ever come. Number 9 is allow yourself joy. There was moments when I felt happy, like I felt happy, I felt proud for example, for kids or for my business, and I was scared that I have this emotion. Like, what the hell? I supposed to feel bad, or I supposed to feel grief, and that's all that I have now. And I got scared. And, I had this crazy idea that I'm not allowed think of like me staying healthy and eating healthy, because this is something that I think about a lot. And I was like, your mom just passed away. How can you think of that? But this thought is really crazy, right? Because the only thing that your parent wants is that for you to be happy. So every time you feel joy or you feel happiness, allow yourself to have this emotion, and always remember this is something that your parent wanted for you. Or it doesn't matter who you think about, or really, if we love someone, that means we want love for this person. And number 10 is last one, and I hope that might resonate with you too. Create something for their memory. For example, for me, it was creating my cafe, which I named Chouchou, which means in French means chouchou, something that you refer to a person that you love, or a kid, a husband, a wife, whatever. Literally translate as like a cabbage, like a small little cabbage. And excuse me for not saying maybe a better translation. Remember that I'm Russian born, not Russian born, was born in Russia. So something that you love and something that you cherish. Anyway, I started this business 3 months later. She passed away. And I remember myself standing on the kitchen of this cafe, because it was really hard to hire like a kitchen staff, and like really hard for me to do anything, because I was barely moving, I was barely thinking. But anyhow, I started that. And I remember myself staying on the kitchen, because I was working on a kitchen myself in the beginning. And I remember myself crying. I was cutting something, don't remember, always like putting together a bowl and crying, just silently crying. And I thought, why am I doing this? Like, if I feel so bad and I feel so much pain. And I decided that I'm doing this to sort of like to make her proud of me, and for her memory, because she was an amazing cook. She loved to cook for her kids. That was her love language, like when I visited her at her house, she was asking like, what do you want to eat? And exactly, she was doing exactly what I asked for. So for me, my business is something that I decided to make as an honor to celebrate her life, and her love for food, and to her family. I think she was born to be a mother in a way, like she was really a person who was great with her kids, and all of us, we have different mom. That's interesting because when we talk about her, we sort of in a way talk about other different people because we have different age. We all different age, and she was more like friends with me, but at the same time she was very mommy and very caring with my brother or with my sister because they were younger, and she was more mature when she got them, when she gave birth to them. So I think this helped me to, in a way, to succeed as well. So I really love what I'm doing, and I love that this is bringing people joy, like, I mean, my customers, guests, bringing them joy and bringing them health, because my mom, she got diabetes type 2, and this caused like COVID caused a lot of problems to her health because she had diabetes type 2. And in a way, the business that I'm doing is that to make other people feel better and like stay healthy. So this is for her and for her memory. And last important moment, don't get away from talking about this person. We always talk about our mom out loud, like what kind of person she was, or she would say that, or she would say this, or she would do that. Especially with kids, don't go, like, don't try to run away from this, because even when we think they are gone, they're always with us. That's something that I learned and understood maybe last year. Right, but it's not good. So that's it. I really hope you guys heard something. For those who are going through something like that, it is hurtful. It is really hard. But I hope this almost 30 minutes long video will help you at least in a way. And if it did, just send me a message here or on Instagram saying that it worked, something worked. And doesn't mean, if you're trying to feel better, doesn't mean you don't love them anymore. I really love my parents, and always when I think about something, how would my mom do, or how would my father would say, what he would say, I always trying to have a conversation in my head. So thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.